Of course I am. But it's a calculated risk. The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the lock, touched off by Jasper Creeks, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and Mast will authorize an all-out assault.
It's long overdue. All right. I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report.
Hey, stranger. Let's chat sometime, okay?
Remember to turn in any... Excellent. Let me have it, and I'll upload it to our Cost overruns, siphoning project funds? How deep does this well go? Our forensic accounting team is going to have their hands full. I'll send this to Mass right away. Let's just hope that a few rotten apples within the UC haven't spoiled the entire bunch. Have any more? I'll be here if you have any more questions.
You know, traveling with you has been more than just good old-fashioned fun. It's been... Well, I buried my pain about Irvin for so long that I needed a nudge and a... I know. Well, I was hiding it. Hiding it from... I can see now how much it was affecting me. I know now that clearing... Well, Jeff... Anyway. Yeah, of course. Vasco is a fantastic co-pilot. He's a fast... Used to not be so fond of teams, as I recall. Something about trusting individuals, right? I guess a good team is a team where you trust everyone individually. So which brings me back to that plan I mentioned earlier. I think I know how to move forward now. But my contact sent a gift. Nope. They were confident about not being detected. Seems real to me. So they found an insurance settlement. Irvin's employers got... Well, they claimed they had to ditch the whole mine and all the equipment inside and construct a new mine with new equipment. They were reimbursed for all of it. It seems that the mining company got a huge payout after they won the case against Irvin. We have the settlement paperwork from their insurance. Tons of money. Oh, also the cyber runner had to move on to other work, but sent me a passcode. I'm not sure what it goes to yet. We can just hold on to it. But anyway, the missing piece here is proving that Irvin... So I discovered that Irvin's original lawyer still practices law. And she'll look over it. Yes, I believe so. Every case she's worked on has been in the interest. She doesn't seem to be in this for the money. I mean, for the initial Irvin's case was her first case, she said. And she's now got 2 Oh, detective. I like the sound of that. If I'm the detective, does that make you my I swear it was a cliche in old detective novels. You have the heart? Well, anyway, we should take everything to the lawyer and see what she says. Maybe she reviews it and decides we have no case, or we need more evidence. I don't know. If we don't have a case, I can probably let it go. Oh, yep. I've got a key card for it. But it's been 20 years. Fantastic. I knew I could count on you. I've sent a list of everything we found so far to the lawyer. You know, I lead the way.
I wouldn't want to be there
shocked.
when the commander has
I'm not worried about the fleet taking the comm spike. Not like they have the brains to use it.
What? Walk with Andrea. I don't think this is. Yeah.
A home, sweet home. Now, where did I leave my cozy slippers? Maybe I didn't bring them.
Ship from dock. Done. We are now free to move among the stars. Daring voyage of the oceans of
You
space.
are entering United Colonies space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. And we're done. Enjoy Gagarin.
All clear. Time to land this ship.
Mech construction is a industry, Chief retort. Those jobs aren't coming back. But Reliant Medical, Archmite, and Satori Mills are dedicated to Gagarin. We were just hoping Gagarin could show the same dedication in return.
I'm not closing off the city every time you want to run a tour group through here.
Our investor visits are the key to making Gagarin a place that works again. A place where people want to live again.
People are living here just fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have security work to get back to. Tell me you're here to just report a good old-fashioned crime? If I have to deal with one more corporate exec begging for special treatment, I'll eat my badge. You know, your stand-up routine leaves something to be desired. Though if you're gunning for a personalized tour of one of Gagarin's holding cells, that can certainly be arranged. But I think we might have gotten off on the wrong foot. It's our job to deal with any law breaking around Gagarin. And we take that job now. We've had our issues. Some folks aren't thrilled. Those that do, lot, it's really not a... Well, People were still reeling. I was responsible for putting... Gagarin's not really that sort of... Only one left is Lizzie's. On the other, there's also... Now, if you're just looking... And for medical supply, be safe.
I have to break up one more fight at Lizzie's. She and I are gonna have problems.
You from off-world? Well. Like your destination's hot and dusty, Gagarin's got you covered.
This thing you're wearing, it's kind of creeping me out a little. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I've got a lot of shipments to process still, so let's cut to the chase. Are you here to claim a shipment in storage, or do you have some other shipping concern? Did one of my robots wander off again? Was it... Well, it's on... We do short-term stuff. What do you expect? And if I'm being honest, you'd be surprised. Gagarin's had a bit of a resurgence lately. It seems like every... That reminds me. Back to work, then.
Welcome to Clint's. Sip make parts. If you need anything, just follow the sound of falling inventory. Gagarin. Everyone always blabbers about, but if you needed it, but that all dried up. Arc might. Plenty more competition during the war. But the biggest difference, it was the testing. It was like... Good way to think about it. May not be the...
Huh.
I was just thinking that this is about what Irvin saw all those years ago when he arrived. He probably stood here thinking that he was going to make things better. He had a good heart. Oh, you remind me of him sometimes. Wanting to... And when you said it out loud, you know, I just hope... I sent that to our... Yes, but listen. Nobody... She didn't want to lose it. Thanks to us, now... Right. She said she would meet us at our office when we arrive. Hopefully she can tell us what we need to do and... Let's stick together, though. Gagarin isn't a huge town, but it's not the kind of town that I want to get lost in.
They're conscripting security to search all the abandoned buildings for loot.
You have any problems? You should talk to Chief Pretorius.
This is Ellie's law.
He'll help you out.
Well, well, well. Barett, you're actually here. Astounding.
Ellie! Ellie, come on. I promised we'd stop by, didn't I?
People make promises all the time, Barrett. And most folks try to avoid Gagarin, not visit it. Anyway, I'm glad you made it out here. We have work to do, don't we? Not exactly, but similar cases. A corporation commits a crime and needs a scapegoat, so they select someone powerless to target.
The quintessential Gagarin tale.
Indeed. Yes. It was...
Well, starting your career with a defeat.
It was. But it's not a resort. It's a working town run by mining corporations. You don't come here unless you need to, and you don't stay unless you have to.
Or unless you're a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer who genuinely wants to make things better for others.
You're kind, Barrett. Yes, I suppose there's that. Down to business. Perfect. What do you already know?
So we already know that Irvin worked for Hephaestus Mining
The fuck's wrong with
years
this guy's
ago.
head, man? Why is
They
he
blamed him for
tilting his head like that?
catastrophic economic and ecological issues here on Gagarin.
Yes. He lost his case because he didn't defend himself, and we had almost no evidence without him. He was publicly blamed for the economic woes, and his accounts were seized in compensation.
His account on Gagarin specifically. It was just the amount he was paid years ago for the job.
Right. They would have taken his assets and other settlements, but by law, his death prevented it.
I recall receiving a message asking him to appear in court a day after his funeral.
An unfortunate reality of interplanetary legal communiques, I'm afraid. Well, we can bring the case to a judge here if we have new evidence or a witness.
What about the evidence we found so far?
Yes, well, about that. It's just not enough. Best case scenario, we clear his name and his assets are returned, plus additional compensation. In order for me to go before a judge, I'd like to have some solid evidence pertaining to motive. The courts won't entertain a challenge to its ruling unless we're sure that something major was missed in the original trial.
What was the motive from the original trial?
We had no solid motive after our witness withdrew his testimony. Yeah, we need something major. Documentation, recordings, a witness, something.
It's been so long. How could we find anything like that?
I've thought about this a lot since the original case. The mine that Irvin worked at was shuttered in 2309. They probably still have documents relating to whatever happened there with him. Not necessarily. To Hephaestus, it might be cheaper to run away and let the dust bury it all. That's where you come in. I don't know which mine he worked at when the incident took place. In theory, you could find that information on a foundry terminal, if you can access it. You'll need a passcode. That's the hard part. Besides the foundry records, there also might be something in Irvin's apartment. If he knew he was being framed, he might have held on to some documents there.
Even the confidential records and salvageable equipment? Seems wasteful.
It was probably cheaper than transporting older machines around the planet.
Makes sense. Not many people wander around outside of the city looking for abandoned mines.
Why lock your door when you're the only person on the planet, right? Anyway, try to log into the foundry system or convince someone to find Irvin's mine for you.
Sounds like an awkward conversation. Fortunately, the captain is rather good at those.
Hopefully, that's enough to work with for now. If you'll excuse me, I have to get some court documents ready for this case.
Foundry district isn't too far from here. I should still have a key to Irvin's apartment. I hope it's worth our time, but I can't be sure.
You heading outside the city? Be careful. If the heat doesn't kill you.
Lost? The trick to the catwalks? Just keep turning right. Get where you're going eventually.
Here, use this key. After you, Captain. Now I get why he wanted me to look after his plants. No windows, insufficient power for proper lamp. No wonder he wrote so much. Wait a second. What about this safe? I bet it's locked by a terminal. Hold on. Is that what I think it is? Aha! Will you look at that? If we go to town hall, I bet we can get a copy of that hunting license. There's got to be a way to look up applications. Is that Irvin's employment contract? Let me see. No idea where mine H363 is, but we could search for it at the Foundry database. All right. And as the lawyer, she's probably right. The burden of proof is sky high on this one. It's likely already in orbit. It was a bit strange going through Irvin's old things, though. I was hoping for some old pictures, but nothing. What's that you have there? A plant? No, but I did find a few slates that might give us a clue, as well as a reminder to finish a physics paper that I never did. Yes, and it was always a remarkable species with an even more remarkable story. I wonder if the same is true for this guy. Witchcraft, but if you want a more, it could. There's also that I'm not sure, but there's probably when we get back home, no, maybe, but it helps me. Urban, no matter how the case goes, this warm. In any event, I'll go through Urban's notes in more detail later. There's probably a float. Oh, on that note, what do you think of? Then it's unanimous. Okay. The three of us should get back to it. You, me.
Anyway, man, it's quite late now, so I gotta go. But it seems there is a second floor that I might need to access, and right now it's not the time anymore, so I gotta go. Okay.